evening. Welcome to Unfiltered Talk Show, where we dive into exhilarating world of sports, interviewing celebrities who make it all happen, from breaking record feats to personal journey triumph. Welcome. In our studio today, we have a guest who will introduce himself. Welcome. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing.
Okay, my name is Coach Emmanuel Tanui Ndorobo. I think those are my official names. I'm a professionally trained athletics coach. Majorly, I'm based in Elred, Iten, and Strobach. I'm in charge of a program called Athletic Scholarship. It's a program that I've been running for the past 20 years, where we've been able to help those kids that are talented to further their education in the US through sports. Majorly, what we'll do is we train these kids immediately they graduate from high school. Then we see their potential in terms of running. Then from there, we try and look for those particular schools in the US that can offer them what athletic scholarship, so that they can go and further their education at the same time as they run for those schools. Where I come from,
So,
yes,
you said you're a coach.
yes.
What inspired you to become a coach?
There are so many things. You just cut me short, but I will say something. I'm also a professionally trained journalist. By profession, I did journalism and mass communication. At the same time, I've also studied in Finland a course called Waiter, where I went there. I studied for 2 years. And there are so many things that inspired me to go into athletics. Where I come from a family where we all do running. I've also been doing running. I've participated in races in Spain. That is a full marathon and a half marathon. And that's what really inspired me, because after traveling through the world, and then I see how sports looks like, specifically running, I was motivated, and immediately in 2014, I remember, I just got an opportunity to go and train in the 10. I trained for 4 years, and from there I managed to go and run some races in Spain and France and also Italy, and that is what motivated me to be who I am today. Then from there I went into the field of coaching, because in 2019 I remember I tried to help some professional athletes to go and run races abroad, and from there is when I saw that type of potential to at least train those particular athletes who can do that's professional running, for them to earn a living. Apart from training these kids who go and run to study, we also have a program that helps those professional athletes who want to run to earn money. And what really motivated me, these are the factors. One, the family where I come from, we all run. Two, specifically in the Kalenjin community, are very proud people in terms of running the long distance athletes. And I just wanted to be part of that particular group. And above all, Kenya is a country that's known internationally because of sports tourism. And running is the main sports tourism, I think, apart from running, you have rugby and other kind of sports. So I wanted to associate myself with something that makes Kenya proud. I think that's running. Yeah.
You said you train athletes to reach their potential. What strategies do you use to make them become successful in their passion?
Our main objective is to ensure that we inspire life. And how do we inspire life? We have those particular kids that when they're in high school, they did not know that they could do running. So immediately they finish from 4. Some of them have friends in the US. They tell them, go and see Coach Emmanuel or other coaches who are my friends who work with. And the main objective of this particular program is not to say that other kids cannot do this because of A, B, C, and D. We want to inspire lives through education and talent. So what happens is, the strategy we use is, immediately after these particular kids have just graduated from high school, we take them to respective camps, either in Iten, Strobach, and sometimes Kapsabet. We put them in camps, we train them, they attend what we call time trials, once or twice every month in Jove. We measure their times and their potential, and how they are progressing in terms of training. Then if they meet those particular times that we need, The last thing is to recommendation to coaches in universities and colleges in US, where they get opportunities to go and study at the same time to run. So the main strategy is we have our own talent coaches who ensure that these kids train from 5 a.m. in the morning up to 4 p.m. in the evening. It's a running program that runs for a minimum of 6 months so that this kid can meet the potential time that we need for him or her to qualify for such kind of programs.
According to your statement, you say that it takes a period of 6 months for them to take these learning steps. What challenges do you overcome when putting on these strategies and taking them abroad for study?
In every field, there is challenges that you have to face, but you have to be strong and ensure that these challenges don't hinder the progress of these kids as they are fighting for their dreams. Challenge number one is these kids, when they graduate from high school, many of them have never run. So you can see maybe their body size is big, and they have to undergo a professional way of reducing the body weight, and that is the major challenge that we face, because others will take less time to reduce their bodies in terms of kilograms, but others will take a longer period for them to reduce their body weight. And apart from that being the main challenge, these are kids. You need to take them slow. You need to tell them the importance of such program. You need to educate them on the importance of being disciplined. You need to tell them how good this running and how America is good in terms of scholarship. You have to keep on encouraging them that even if they don't run good today, tomorrow is another day that they can ensure that they put more effort and run good. So, in other words, you have to inspire and give hope to these kids so that they can ensure that they run and meet those times that we require. I think those are some of the challenges that we face in this particular program. And then another challenge is it's a program that doesn't have sponsors. With the coaches ourselves, go out. We are not being paid by anybody. We go out on ourselves. We work closely with the parents of these kids to ensure that this particular program is successful. You can imagine a program where you run by yourself using your own resources, and the parents helping their own kids in these particular camps for them to train so that they can achieve their life. But we are very happy that the program has helped over 5,000 students to go and further their education in the US. That has been a life-changing program that we appreciate. And we have world-class beaters in terms of many races. Somebody like Emmanuel Tanui, the 800-meter champion, world champion, is a product of the program. Lokedi, the New York City Marathon winner, is also a fruit of such a program. The likes of Betty Saina and many others that have progressed, and they have moved on from being athlete students to being professional athletes, and they have earned money through the same process.
Going all this process, personal challenges like they are not sponsored.
Yes.
How do you cope with this pressure that these kids have to be pushed? They have to undergo all these steps so they become successful. What are some of the personal challenges that you face apart from those from sponsorship that you face, and how do you overcome them?
Thank you for such questions. We have many personal challenges, and for this one I can speak on behalf of myself and other coaches that do this work. It's a challenging kind of work. It's a work that, let's say, it's a calling, because like for myself, what made me move into this particular coaching program is I wanted to change lives. That was my main objective. My main dream is to ensure that the lives of so many people have been changed through the same process, helping those needy families specifically, because you can see that you can go to a needy family and you see they have a kid who can run. If we change the life of that kid, the life of that particular family has also done what? Has also changed. So some of the personal challenges that we face is, you can imagine training these kids without sponsors. You can imagine waking up early in the morning and you know that nobody is going to pay you at the end of the day. But you keep believing in yourself and say that one time the life of this particular kid could have been changed. Another challenge that we face, the personal challenge, is sometimes you feel so guilty when these kids don't meet the expected times. And you can see the parents being frustrated. They have brought the kid to your hand so that you can handle the kid and ensure that the kid meets those times. And this is maybe it takes a lot of time for a specific kid to meet a specific time. So those are some of the personal challenges. But how we overcome these challenges, number one is to pray to God. We usually have meetings every week with these students and the other coaches and other stakeholders. We give ourselves hope. We say that at the end of the day, the positive side of the story is how many kids have we helped and how many kids can we still help so that they can change their own lives when they arrive in America, and when they can study, get degrees, and then carry them also after studying if they can become professional athletes like the one that I've just mentioned.
Okay. You say you partner with other coaches to ensure that these children meet their expectations.
Yes.
If you were to invite two coaches to your party, whom will you invite and what will be the topic of your meeting?
Okay, you mean the coaches I work with, right? The coaches I work with, if I have to invite the two of them, and I cannot invite two, maybe I can invite 4 or 5. But it's a program that helps so many people.
Okay.
I can invite one senior coach called Emmanuel Maraba. He's a person that I've been working closely all through this particular program. Because we've invited this particular program, I and Coach Evans are the senior members who do what we call talent search. Our work majorly is to do coordination. And there's another senior coach who's also a former professional athlete called Coach Bernard Barmasai. He is a coordinator of the same program. I can also invite him to give the professional aspect of running. And then we have other coaches, that's like Coach Geoffrey Barmasai, who is our training coach in Stobak. We have Coach Peter Pembo in 10. Then we have Coach Gosgay in Kapsabet. Then we have Coach Wilson also in 10. And then we have other coaches who also help through this particular program. And if I bring them here, the main topic of discussion that maybe we can discuss is how can we make this program to be better. And how better can we do this is by having sponsors and encouraging the community, specifically those ones that have kids that have just graduated from high school, that this is a doable program that has changed lives.
Okay. And if you were to write a book,
yes,
about your journey from where you started till where you are, what will be the title of your book and why?
A tough one. If I write a book, I think my journey has been a tough one. And I think it will take me some time for me to think about the title of the topic of such book. Because I can remember when I was in primary school, I was a very good runner. I started to run when I was in primary school. When I went to secondary school, my athletics reduced because I concentrated more in studying. And then after I graduated from high school, when I went to college, I tried to mix. I played football at the same time I did running. And after I graduated from college, I became a sports journalist, majorly doing analysis of sports because I loved sports. Then from there are so many other factors. I came back, then I became a tutor. I used to teach colleges about mass communication and journalism before I now specialize and say that I want to become an athlete. Then I went to run. At first I was running as a scholar student for me also to get scholarship and go to the US and study. Then from there I changed, I would become a professional runner. Then from there I became a coach. So it has been it has been a long story in terms of life. And for me to say that I can give my book a topic, I don't know the topic. Maybe I can.
But maybe with time you can figure it out.
Yes, I can figure it out, and I can say because it has been a long journey. You can see somebody being a coach, being somebody, being what and what, so many things.
There are those women or ladies who wants to venture in the world of athletics,
yes,
but their parents don't support that. How can you advise these ladies or maybe their parents?
I think that has also been a challenge when we've been handling this particular program. because you can see that we have more of the men's side compared to the women's side. And some of the reasons is the reluctance from their parents to allow these girls to move out, be themselves, work hard, and achieve their dreams in terms of running. I want to tell, let me start with the parents. I want to tell the parents that the world has changed. It's a world of equality where a girl child has to enjoy equal rights to a boy child, and it's a world where education is an equalizer. And if we can do something to just ensure that education is equal to both a boy child and a girl child, I think the objective of this world could have been achieved. I also want to tell those particular girls is they have to move on by themselves. They have to work hard by themselves. They have to be determined. There are so many obstacles in this particular process, but at the end of the day, if they are very determined, I think everything can be very easy. And if it's difficult for their parents to give them permission to come and train, that has been our primary duty, to convince the parents, to tell them that this exactly is a process, by giving them examples of those particular women that have progressed in such programs. People who have won races like Lokedi and Betty Saina and the others, they are best example of such kind of program where a girl child can emulate and say that one time I want to run in this world and be identified. So I'll just tell them to chase their dreams. Yeah.
As we wind up, the High Court ordered the AK officials to vacate the office. What's your take about that?
I think it has been something that the country has been waiting for so long, specifically the athletics community. We've been waiting so long to see how things can happen. I think it is something that the body itself, the Athletics Kenya, has also been waiting to see how it can go. And we are all agreeing that the declaration that was made yesterday by the court, that the holders of such offices have overstayed in those offices and they're supposed to vacate the office. I agree with that, but I have a concern where the verdict of the court declared that they have to vacate the offices immediately. What I could recommend is for them to be given time, at least to have a smooth transition, for them to continue working in those particular offices. As elections are done, we have a smooth transition where the AK cannot stop working because these particular athletes have to go and run races, and all the Athletics Kenya calendar events have to run as usual. And that means that those particular officers must have people that can give direction. But telling them to vacate immediately means that other things will stall in terms of developing an athlete. But we are all in agreement that time is due and we need fresh blood in Athletics Kenya. We want to appreciate the efforts that have been done by the people who are getting those particular offices. They have run Athletics Kenya professionally for the past 8 years, and we want to appreciate their work. And they have marketed Kenya internationally in terms of good management of sports. And I think we are all aware that the chairman of Athletics Kenya, Tuwei, is the vice president of World Athletics. It's a title that doesn't come easily as people might think. It's a very big title in terms of appreciating Kenya as a country, in terms of running, and also appreciating Africa for the great effort that we've done in terms of nurturing talent, specifically through running. But we are all in agreement that there's so much that has been happening in terms of management of athletics in our country, and it has been so difficult since the case was taken to court. It has taken time for a court verdict to be given out. But we want to agree and say that we have to move forward as a country because running is our life, and we have to accept the necessary changes that will be made.
And there is this situation that athletes use shortcuts to reach their success. How can you advise these athletes, or what's your take on this angle?
Thank you very much for such question. That has been a very big question worldwide, and we all remember that Kenya had been have been given a very big task to ensure that we meet some minimum requirement for us to continue running worldwide, because we were almost being banned from participating internationally because of the doping cases, because of the many doping cases that our country was facing. And that was because we did not have strong measures. We did not have ADAC, the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya. That was one of the conditions that World Athletics gave us, that we have to form our own anti-doping agency, and the government had to invest minimum of around 700 million Kenyan shillings to ensure that this doping matters is handled professionally and carefully, to ensure that we remain in those particular lists of countries that can participate internationally. I want to encourage athletes that shortcut doesn't pay. It can pay for now, but your career can be cut short. And you've seen many athletes, world-class athletes, have been suffering because of doping. Many of them, they even become depressed, and depression comes because a career has been cut short because of such cases. But also, I want to advise those agencies, those anti-doping agencies, to perform their work diligently and more so professionally, because we've been having cases where the results of such doping cases are being altered in favor of somebody because of maybe corruption cases and other kind of cases. I just want to advise such bodies to handle these matters very, very professionally, because if you cut short a profession of an athlete, and the lifespan of this professional athletes maybe in running is maximum for around 20 years, because at most. And if you cut short such life, it becomes like a very big blow to the life of an athlete.
And it's a case that World Athletics under AIU and the WADA and the other bodies and the other government agencies are working on to ensure that such cases can be handled. And athletics as a sport has to be clean. It has to be clean. Thank you.
Coach, I would like you to advise the upcoming generation that athletes is good for them or any other profession. How can you tell this upcoming generation any advice to them?
I want to specifically advise the generation that we have and the others that are coming that sports really pays. Talent is very expensive. There's nothing in this world that pays as talent. And we have dozens, we have so many examples that I can explain that. People have been hearing of Lionel Messi, others have been hearing of Cristiano Ronaldo and other world-class footballers. People have been hearing of the greatest basketballers in the world and how much they earn. They earn a lot of money. There's nothing as expensive as talent. I want just to tell those people that let them know what their talent is. Let them work extra hard to ensure that those particular talent pays, because you can easily become rich using your talent compared to even a person that has gone a longer way to find money using other ways. So the generation that we are facing nowadays has a lot of challenges because the others don't want to work extra hard to achieve the objectives in terms of sports, and I think others are lazy because of the environment. But I want to tell this generation that they have to work hard to achieve in terms of sports. If it is basketball, let them do basketball to their best. If it's athletics, do it to the best, because Kenya is the best example worldwide on how we can shine in athletics. If it is football, do it to the best so that you can be identified worldwide. And as you can see, nowadays, all over the world, and if you can look at the Western countries, specifically countries like UK, like the whole of Europe and America and the others, they have really emulated sports as one of the best marketing tools to market their countries. Sports tourism is the tourist number one worldwide, where we all gather as sports people, sportsmen and women gather in Olympic, they share ideas, the world becomes one in a small stadium where the world is one. Because of what? Because of sports. And that's what we need to emulate. Yeah.
As we finish, I would like you to tell those who are watching us how they can find you, for those who want to venture in athletes, how they can reach you so that they can enroll in your team.
So if you want to reach me, number one, I think the best way is just to call me. I'll not tell Kenyans to write me an email because it can be difficult. You can just call me through my number is 0729 35 again 87 0729 35 87 or 0727 046 541 0727 046 541. If you want to go to Facebook, my name is Emmanuel Tanui Ndorobo. You can find me there also. You can write me a message and I can try to answer some of the questions. And if you want to find me physically, you can get me in Eldoret, either in Ketias or in Zion Mall. Yeah.
Thank you, viewer, for joining us in venturing this world of sport. I hope you find our interview valuable and insightful. This interview was proudly sponsored by Premier Atlanta Consultant in partnership with Atlanta Media and Events. My name is Ahmed. Until next time, stay motivated.